Alert, Fox News caves, hides massive criminal Democrat scandal. It is well known that the liberal media will do whatever is necessary to cover up their lies and crimes. We are sickened to see that they even found a way to silence Fox News. Dennis Michael Lynch reported that Hannity received a letter from Aaron Rich, Seth Rich's brother. This letter asked Hannity to stop talking about Seth Rich because it is hurtful to the family. The story ceased right away. Oddly enough, Aaron sent the same letter, as a demonstration, to CNN. Interesting. The letter made mention of Kim.com, a New Zealand hacker who had close ties to Seth. Kim is actively telling the world that there is more to this story and that Rich was murdered by someone involved with the DNC for passing off leaked documents. Kim has been speaking to the public from his Twitter account, letting everyone know that he is working with his legal team to bring information to the United States to hold Seth's murderer accountable. If you didn't know the whole story with Rich, you would say that it reeks of foul play. He was murdered in a robbery gone wrong situation while walking home from his girlfriend's house. Oddly, nothing was taken off of his person. Rich was murdered just 12 days before the leaked Hillary emails made it to the public via WikiLeaks. Kim.com confirmed that Rich worked with WikiLeaks to get all of the information organized and ready for launch. We have to wonder why suddenly Rich's brother cares so much about what is said. Wouldn't he want the truth to come out? If there were even an inkling of suspicious behavior, I would at least be curious to hear the information presented. Instead, he shut down everyone from speaking about it by playing the grieving family card. Kim.com recently tweeted about the letter on his account. .com had this to say: "It's so sad that the DNC manipulates the Rich family with fake kindness to take advantage of them for DNC crisis control and fake news. It would appear that this is exactly what is going on. The liberal media is thrilled by the news that they get to keep pushing their false narrative. If it weren't for these whistleblowers, we would not have a majority of the information that we do today. The left would rather work in secrecy and take advantage of everyone that they possibly can. Liberals are finally being exposed, and they are terrified. It is ironic that they seem so concerned about this being fake news, yet continue to push false news stories about memos, ties to Russia, and so forth. We need to stop them now and let them know that the truth will be exposed. An investigation is still going to move forward with or without their approval. They have already dug their graves, now they just have to live with their choices. We could see the Democrats vanish over the next couple of years if they are exposed as scam artists and murderers." Do you think that this bold move can destroy the left? Share this story on Facebook and let us know because we want to hear your voice. You'll be livid when you see what Obama did today. He has no shame. Trying to outshine President Donald Trump, Obama is making headlines with his visit abroad. Former President Barack Obama is joining forces with German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Obama and Merkel are involved in a forum labeled, "Being Involved in Democracy, Taking on Responsibility Locally and Globally," as reported by the Washington Times. It is quite hypocritical for Obama to be included in anything that is titled, "Taking on Responsibility." Apparently the German Protestant Church Conference is being held to celebrate the 500th anniversary of the Reformation. The event is being sponsored by the Obama Foundation, and gives Obama a platform to continue his ranting and whining like he has for the past 8 years. Obama never cared about or fought for Christians in the United States, but he's involved in this pious event. Bishop Heinrich Bedford Strom stated, "The churches form a global civil society network of over 2 billion Christians. Together, as people of faith, we live from the firm hope for a better world." Even more interesting is the fact that when Obama wanted to speak at Berlin's historic Brandenburg Gate in 2008, Merkel vetoed it. Money makes for interesting bedfellows, and this is no exception. Merkel can't possibly think Obama has changed his views in any way, considering the way he endorsed Hillary Clinton in the 2016 campaign. Obama refuses to be considered a former president and is trying to stay relevant in America's eyes. As he stated in January, "Now, that doesn't mean that if a year from now or a year and a half from now or 2 years from now, there is an issue of such moment, such import, that isn't just a debate about a particular tax bill or, a particular policy, but goes to some foundational issues about our democracy that I might not weigh in. What do you think about this comment below? Nobody noticed what Melania asked the Pope to do for her. This says everything about her values as a believer. President Trump met Pope Francis at the Vatican on Wednesday, alongside the First Lady and his daughter, Iga. This was Trump's first official visit to the Vatican, where he finally got the opportunity to meet the Pope, with whom he has had an interesting relationship so far. However, the crew was all smiles, and the Pope even broke the ice, making a joke about the president to Melania. The audio is a bit hard to hear, but the Pope made a quip to Melania about Trump's size and even offered a nod to her heritage. Melania was all smiles, but before the Pope moved on, she had one request. With her, the First Lady had brought a rosary. The rosary is a string of beads Catholics use for prayer and meditation. It is made up of beads, each signifying a special prayer. It is a deeply cherished symbol within the Catholic faith. Melania asked if the Pope would bless her rosary. The answer was, of course, yes. As the First Lady held the rosary in both hands, Pope Francis said a prayer over it and made the sign of the cross. Melania looked delighted and quietly said, "Thank you." Melania is openly religious and a practicing Christian. President Trump and Melania Trump are regular attendees of an Episcopalian church in Palm Beach, Florida. Melania often posts about her visits to the church on Instagram. She took the First Lady of Japan to her church, Bethesda by the Sea, in February to show her where we were married, where we celebrate and we pray. The Trumps also celebrated Easter service there. Melania has also led attendees at Trump rallies in the Lord's Prayer. While the First Lady is not a practicing Catholic, the blessing of a rosary says a lot about where her priorities lie. Wasserman Schultz threatens police chief, after exposed horrific crimes. Representative W. Wasserman Schultz threatened the chief of the U.S. Capitol Police with consequences for holding equipment that she says belongs to her in order to build a criminal case against a Pakistani staffer suspected of massive cybersecurity breaches involving funneling sensitive congressional data off-site. The Florida lawmaker used her position on the committee that sets the police force's budget to press its chief to relinquish the piece of evidence Thursday, in what could be considered using her authority to attempt to interfere with a criminal investigation. The Capitol Police and outside agencies are pursuing Imran Awan, who has run technology for the Florida lawmaker since 2005 and was banned from the House network in February on suspicion of data breaches and theft. "My understanding is that the Capitol Police is not able to confiscate members' equipment when the member is not under investigation," Wasserman Schultz said in the annual police budget hearing of the House Committee on Appropriations Legislative Branch Subcommittee. "We can't return the equipment," Police Chief Matthew Verderosa told the Florida Democrat. "I think you're violating the rules when you conduct your business that way, and you should expect that there will be consequences," Wasserman Schultz said. As one of 8 members of the Committee on Appropriations Legislative Branch Subcommittee, Wasserman Schultz is in charge of the budget of the police force that is investigating her staffer and how he managed to extract so much money and information from members. Comments. Representative W. Wasserman Schultz threatened the chief of the U.S. Capitol Police with consequences for holding equipment that she says belongs to her in order to build a criminal case against a Pakistani staffer suspected of massive cybersecurity breaches involving funneling sensitive congressional data off-site. Sponsored by Rev Content. Unbelievable German World War II photo stuns Americans. Find out more. 65,325. The Florida lawmaker used her position on the committee that sets the police force's budget to press its chief to relinquish the piece of evidence Thursday, in what could be considered using her authority to attempt to interfere with a criminal investigation. The Capitol Police and outside agencies are pursuing Imran Awan, who has run technology for the Florida lawmaker since 2005 and was banned from the House network in February on suspicion of data breaches and theft. My understanding is that the Capitol Police is not able to confiscate members' equipment when the member is not under investigation, Wasserman Schultz said in the annual police budget hearing of the House Committee on Appropriations Legislative Branch Subcommittee. We can't return the equipment, Police Chief Matthew Verderosa told the Florida Democrat. I think you're violating the rules when you conduct your business that way, and you should expect that there will be consequences, Wasserman Schultz said. As one of 8 members of the Committee on Appropriations Legislative Branch Subcommittee, Wasserman Schultz is in charge of the budget of the police force that is investigating her staffer and how he managed to extract so much money and information from members. In a highly unusual exchange, the Florida lawmaker uses a hearing on the Capitol Police's annual budget to spend 3 minutes repeatedly trying to extract a promise from the chief that he will return a piece of evidence being used to build an active case. If a member loses equipment and it is found by your staff and identified as that member's equipment and the member is not associated with any case, it is supposed to be returned. Yes or no? She said. Police tell her it is important to an ongoing investigation, but presses for its return anyway. A federal employee with knowledge of the situation